Section 5. The house of Baucis and Philemon is turned into a temple. Both obey and, supported by their staffs, they strive to place their footsteps on the long slope. They were about as far away from the top as an arrow, once discharged, can go. They turned their eyes and see the rest of the houses submerged by a marsh, only their own house remaining. And while they were marvelling at these things, while they were weeping for the fates of their friends, that old house, small even for its two owners, is turned into a temple. Columns replace the poles, the thatch becomes yellow, and a golden roof is seen. And doors engraved and the earth covered with marble. Then the son of Saturn uttered the following words with a calm expression: "Honest old man and woman worthy of an honest husband, tell me what you desire." Having spoken a few words with Baucis, Philemon reveals their joint decision to the gods. We begin with an enclosing order in the first line with Baculisque Lawati and Longo Clevo. These two phrases enclose the action, right, the verb nituntur. So the struggle is placed between the means of support and the difficulty of the path. There's also a clear rhyme in Longo Clevo, a soft echo that draws attention to the slow and steep nature of their climb. Next up comes a balanced construction with tantum and then followed with quantum. It's a neat pairing that gives the comparison a sense of symmetry. It shows just how close they are to the summit. And then that leads into this vivid simile, where they are as far from the top as an arrow can travel when shot in one go. The phrase is quite striking. This simile gives a sudden, swift image of distance, which contrasts with the slow struggle of the elderly couple. Immediately after that, there's some structured pairing in flexere oculos et mersa palude and cetera prospiciunt. The two verbs, flexere, they turned, and prospiciunt, they look out, are parallel, with a neat structure of movement and then vision. And we can also note that flexere is this poetic form of the perfect tense, and it gives a slightly archaic tone which suits the mythic register that's happening here. There's also some delay as well, or rather, there's the flood imagery next, actually. All else they see is Mersa Palude submerged in swamp, which mirrors the motif of divine punishment we see in other myths. It's a powerful visual cue that gives as a sign that divine judgment has occurred. Then we get this emphatic placement with the man array waiting right until the end of that sentence, the end of the line. After that, then we have some anaphora and a syndeton. So dum is repeated without a conjunction in the middle, which creates a breathless rhythm. And the repetition stresses both their wonder and their grief. They're caught between awe and sorrow. Now, there's further emphasis in the placement of suorum, of their own, right at the end. It's a position normally reserved for nouns or verbs, and that's because Ovid wants to stress who has perished, their neighbours, their friends, people they knew. We then get some more emphasis in the next line with vetus and parva, these two adjectives, and they come before casa, the house, or rather they enclose casa, the house. Ovid stressing just how poor and humble their home was, even for two people. So he keeps the tone modest and domestic. And then suddenly we shift to elevated diction. Okay. In the line Furcas subiere columnae, Ovid uses columnae, columns, in the place of the old wooden supports, the furcas. And this is temple language. It raises the tone. This miracle is shown by the shift in register. Now, there's also some repetition of that ta sound. Right, we hear the ta coming through. It gives a stately, rhythmic feeling. It helps us picture the transformation with grandeur and formality. And that's followed with some more repetition. The repeated que endings give a piling up effect. One grand feature after another is described, with the accumulation emphasizing the splendor that's happening. Now, in the next line, Jupiter speaks, But he isn't referred to as Jupiter, he's referred to as the son of Saturn. So we've got some more elevated diction again, and it signals Jupiter's divine authority and ties him to an older mythological tradition. Then we find a neat chiasmus in the next line. This is an adjective, noun, noun, adjective. So juste and then conjugue justo. And it places the two nouns, the old man and the woman, in the middle of them. So some nice symmetry there. They're right next to each other in harmony, both grammatically and emotionally. Closely linked to this is the polyptoton as well, with juste and justo. The same root word is in different cases, which reinforces their uprightness, their moral alignment, so even their grammar reflects their goodness. Now, finally, then, the last little bit of this section, we get the word commune, shared, and it's placed prominently towards the end, just before Philemon's name. Now, this is some emphatic vocabulary that reveals their unity. Even when offered anything they want, they make their decision together.